Why video game prices used to be way worse than they are now. With all the news in the gaming industry about rising prices for consoles and games alike, it can very easily feel like this is the worst timeline to be a gamer in. But with these new prices being set as the standard for AAA game prices for the foreseeable future, I have to say, game prices have been worse. Now let me be clear, I hate that all of this is happening, but it's worth examination because throughout the almost 50-year history of the gaming industry, games have been way more expensive than what we are currently seeing. Now keep in mind, inflation has basically ruined everything, but video games have actually stayed below the expected price increases you would imagine. For example, when the Atari 2600 established the first market for video games back in the late 70s, the average price of a single cartridge would go for about $39.99, which in 2026 would be equivalent to about $229? Geez, no wonder all those copies of E.T. ended up in that landfill. But that price tag was expensive even for the time. Video games, after all, were a burgeoning technology that were finding their place in the market. But if you fast forward to the early 90s, game prices would be set by Nintendo, who was the dominant player in the market at the time, with the first implementation of the $59.99 standard, which would be about $155 today. Old habits die hard with this company, I guess. But again, these prices were absurd due to the upgrade in processing power from the NES to the SNES. Going from 8-bit to 16-bit must not have been cheap. But what about examples from, well, this century? When the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 ushered in the HD era, the prices of games during the previous generation had gone from $49.99 back up to $59.99. And while that created a standard that lasted about 20 years of average game prices, adjusted for inflation now, that standard price would be about $101 when talking about 2006 and roughly $84 when adjusted from 2016. The point I'm trying to make is that even though we are seeing games get ever more expensive, not just to create, but also in pricing, if not viewed properly through the lens of inflation fluctuation over time, you don't get a clear picture of how bad prices could be, or forget about how expensive games were even in the yesteryears of our nostalgic youths. But still screw Nintendo and Rockstar for these prices. Just play Marvel Rivals for free and spend $100 on Gooner skins instead.
What do you mean you're not using physical Steam cartridges? No wonder Sony thinks they can kill off the disk drive. Jibril-sama over on Reddit showcased their innovative system for having physical versions of their games on their own dedicated cartridge. It involves a bunch of used 2.5-inch SSDs that were acquired for less than $10 a pop that have the game installed on them, and then a script that auto-loads it all into Steam when it's plugged in. Right now, it doesn't launch the game automatically, but they said that should be totally possible. It's a creative way to hold on to games you want to replay once in a while but don't want taking up space on your main drive. You'll just have to wait for Steam updates if it's been a while, just like if it's a normal console.
Only one of you gets to stay. Hey, come on, stick with me. I've got to pay rent somehow. Come on, Peach, sell them. Remember, we have Mario, Zelda, and even a new Star Fox. Think of your childhood. You make a good point. Yeah, he's a waste of space, butthole. I have Game Pass, backwards compatibility, and a limited edition see-through console. I thought Nintendo already did that with the N64. That's not the point. Forget about them. You want the fastest console with all the best, not much, exclusives. You all are truly amazing, but I decided I'm staying with...
None of them can compare to me.
Who are you? I'm the ultimate Steam machine. So I can play all 2,000 of my Steam games on my TV, and you can use me as a PC. Wow, I couldn't ask for anything better. Tell him. Tell me what? The price. Well, we're only 1,000 for the base model, and 1,400 for 2 terabytes with no controller. That's literally my rent. But what's more important? Me or rent? Yeah, Nintendo, you're safe.